Kids on the Brain. I'm Jason, and today we're taking a nostalgic journey into the world of Oliver and Company, a beloved animated classic that has captured hearts for generations. Directed by Scribner, this 1988 gem features the incredible voice talents of Joey Lawrence, Billy Joel, Cheech Marin, and Bette Midler, bringing a lively and unforgettable energy to the streets of New York City. Join me as we explore the vibrant animation, memorable music, and charming characters that make this film a timeless treasure. From the catchy tunes to the heartwarming story of friendship and loyalty, Oliver and Company offers a delightful blend of adventure and emotion that continues to resonate with audiences of all ages. Please note this review will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, I highly recommend giving it a watch before diving into our discussion. We'll be delving into the plot points, character arcs, and standout scenes that make Oliver and Company a standout in Disney's rich history of animation. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on this animated adventure together as we celebrate the magic of Oliver and Company. Get ready to discover why this film remains a cherished favorite. Let's jump right in. Now let's see how it did in the box office. Oliver and Company opened in theaters on November 18th, 1988 with a budget of $31 million. During its 11-week 1988 theatrical run, it earned a total of $53.2 million. Its opening weekend of its 1988 run saw it earn $4 million and finishing number 4 in the box office behind the likes of Ernest Saves Christmas, which finished at number 3, Child's Play, which ended at number 2, and The Land Before Time, which finished at number 1 and also opened the same weekend. Its final week of his 1988 run saw it earn $1.2 million and finishing number 12. On March 26, 1996, Oliver and Company had another 3-week theatrical run, earning a total of $20.8 million. Its opening weekend of its 1996 run saw it earn $4.5 million and finishing number 4 in the box office, yet again. This time behind Executive Decision, which finished at number 3, Sergeant Bilko, which finished at number 2 and also opened the same weekend, and The Birdcage, which finished at number 1. The final week of its 1996 run saw it earn $3.2 million, finishing number 9 in the box office. Let's check out the plot. On Fifth Avenue, several kittens are left in a box outside a shop. All but one, an orange tabby, are adopted. Wandering the streets by himself in search of someone to adopt him, the kitten meets a laid-back mongrel named Dodger, who agrees to help him steal food from a hot dog vendor. Dodger then reneges the deal and flees with the hot dogs. The kitten pursues Dodger all over New York City. Dodger eventually arrives at a barge where the kitten watches him share the hot dogs with a gang of poverty-stricken dogs: Tito the Chihuahua, Einstein the Great Dane, Rita the Saluki, and Francis the Bulldog. The kitten accidentally falls into the barge, startling the dogs. Although they were miffed, none of them harm him. Fagin, the bargeman and petty thief who owns the dogs, is indebted to Sykes, a nefarious loan shark and criminal. Sykes arrives and gives Fagin an ultimatum to pay the money in 3 days or suffer violence, possibly even death. Sykes' two Dobermans, Roscoe and DeSoto, harass Fagin's dog and threaten to eat the kitten until he scratches DeSoto's nose, earning the respect of Fagin and the dogs. Roscoe warns that they will try to exact revenge. The next morning, Fagin goes to pawn some of his stolen goods while the dogs and the kitten try to steal more money for him. Through a theatrical ruse, the animals stop a limousine belonging to the wealthy Foxworth family, but the attempt to rob the limo fails, and the kitten is taken by the child, Jenny Foxworth, who is missing her vacationing parents and desires a companion. He names him Oliver and becomes very attached to him. Oliver makes himself at home in Jenny's house, much to the disgust of Georgette, the family's the Foxworth family's spoiled prize-winning poodle. With her help, Dodger and the dogs manage to steal Oliver back from the Foxworth household, returning him to the barge. Fagin recognizes from Oliver's new collar and gold name tag that he had been adopted by a wealthy family and desperately decides to hold Oliver for ransom. He anony- he anonymously His anonymously written ransom note reaches Jenny, who sets out to get Oliver back at the pier. Jenny and Georgette meet with Fagin, who is shocked to be dealing with a little girl whose ransom money is a piggy bank. Bothered by his conscience and Jenny's tears, Fagin gives Oliver back freely. Sykes, whom Fagin had informed of the deal beforehand, is watching from the shadows and kidnaps Jenny, intending to ransom her while declaring Fagin's debt paid. Dodger rallies Oliver and the other dogs to free Jenny from Sykes, but Sykes and his Dobermans confront them as they attempt to leave. Fagin saves the group with his motor scooter, and a chase ensues throughout the streets and into the subway tunnels. Jenny falls from the scooter onto Sykes' car. Oliver and Dodger go after her and battle Roscoe and DeSoto, who fall off the car and are electrocuted on the third rail of the subway. Fagin leaves Tito to drive and saves Ginny, while Dodger and Oliver are thrown from Sykes' car onto the pavement of the Brooklyn Bridge just before an oncoming train strikes Sykes' car, killing him. Tito drives the scooter to safety, and Ginny and Oliver are reunited. Later, Ginny celebrates her birthday with the animals, Fagin, and the family butler, Winston. Oliver opts to stay with Ginny, but he promises to remain in contact with Dodger and the gang. Well, let's check out the cast and some of the other roles they've had. Joey Lawrence as Oliver. Other roles for Joey Lawrence include Scott in Pardoned by Grace, Hudson Sampson in Swim, and Aaron Wright in the TV show Hawaii Five-O. Billy Joel as Dodger. This has been Billy Joel's only role that he doesn't play himself. Cheech Marin as Tito. Other roles for Cheech Marin include Julio in Champions, Hector in Angry Neighbors, and Ramon in the Cars franchise. Richard Mulligan as Einstein. Before his passing in September of 2000, other roles for Richard Mulligan include Dr. Harry Weston in the TV show Empty Nest, Rafferty in The Heavenly Kid, and Burt Campbell in the TV show Soap. Roscoe Lee Browne as Francis. Before his passing in April of 2007, other roles for Roscoe Lee Browne include the narrator in Epic Movie, Devlin in Sweet Deadly Dreams, and Mr. Arrow in Treasure Planet. Cheryl Lee Ralph as Rita. Other roles for Cheryl Lee Ralph include Barbara Howard in the TV show Abbott Elementary, President Kelly Wade in the TV show Motherland Port Salem, and Grace Holloway in the BioShock 2 video game. Dom DeLuise as Fagin. Before his passing in May of 2009, other roles for Dom DeLuise include Gabriel in Girl Play, Tiger in an American Tail franchise, and Itchy in the All Dogs Go to Heaven franchise. Torian Black as Roscoe before his passing in July of 2022. Other roles for Torian Black include Blue in Step Off, Detective Wheeler in the TV show Savannah, and Laidlaw in Deep Star 6. Carl Weintraub as DeSoto. Other roles for Carl Weintraub include Vincent Maroney in the TV show Days of Our Lives, Co-Pilot Ingrams in Air Force One, and Edward Sr. in Bride Plus One. Robert Loggia as Bill Sykes. Before his passing in December of 2015, other roles for Robert Loggia include Macmillan in Big, General William Gray in Independence Day, and Frank Lopez in Scarface. Natalie Gregory as Jennifer Jenny Foxworth. Other roles for Natalie Gregory include Rose in Wait Until Spring Bandini, Tara Dryden in the TV movie Dad's a Dog, and Belinda in the TV movie Beanpole. Winston Glover as Winston. William Glover as Winston. Other roles for William Glover include Major Cunningham in To Be or Not to Be, Alfred Alfred Wright in the TV show Santa Barbara, and Smithers in the TV movie Archie to Riverdale and Back. Bette Midler as Georgette. Other roles for Bette Midler include Winifred Sanderson in the Hocus Pocus franchise, Grandma in 2019 and 2021's The Addams Family 1 and 2, and Benita in Sitting in Bars with Cake. And Frank Welker as Old Louie. Other roles for Frank Welker include Nibbler in the TV show Futurama, Curious George in the TV show Curious George, and The Cave of Wonder in 2019's Aladdin. For a movie that came out 36 years ago now, it's as good now as it was when I first saw it as a kid. The animation style is great. Love the hand drawn backgrounds. The cast absolutely nails their roles, and the songs and music were great as well. The story is simple, but for an 80s cartoons, it needed that simplicity. I loved so much about this movie. And my favorite part has to be when Oliver first meets Tito, Einstein, Francis, Rita, and Fagin, followed closely by the whole rescue scene. Billy Joel is one of the leads in a musical with such a perfect casting choice. Bette Midler was a great choice too, since she had been known to sing in a lot of her movies. Other than those two, Cheech Marin and Frank Welker, I have no clue who any of the other actors are, even though I did look at their careers for this review. I hadn't seen any of the things those others had been in, but now I have other things to add to my list because of that. This is one of my favorite movies to watch as a kid, and honestly, it still might be up there for me at 32 years old. If you haven't seen this, which I don't know why you haven't, you need to see it. Now let's look at some fun facts and trivia about this movie. Animators shot photos of New York streets as reference, using cameras set 18 inches off the ground to get a dog's point of view. This was the first Disney film to have its own department set up expressly for the purpose of generating computer animation. When Oliver wakes up after sleeping in the truck tire, he sees people crossing past the alley where he slept. One of the people is Roger from 101 Dalmatians. It's the last animated Disney classic to use line over line and also cell overlay, a technique used to make backgrounds match the lines of Xerox objects in film. One of the few animated feature films to feature a front and center shot of New York's Twin Towers. After the tragedy of 9/11, when shots of the iconic towers were being removed from many films to avoid upsetting people, Disney opted not to attempt to edit out the towers, mainly because it would ruin the film's original main title card and because it would be too time consuming and costly to do. By 2001, Oliver and Company had already been widely distributed on VHS, so there was no point in editing it. Many New Yorkers later commended Disney by not altering the film because they felt it was a good portrayal of the way New York City used to be before 9/11, when they wanted it left as it was with the towers visible. Pongo from 101 Dalmatians, Jock, Rusty, and Peg from Lady and the Tramp make an appearance during Why Should I Worry. As of 2021, Oliver and Company remains the only film in which Billy Joel has acted as a character other than himself. Joel has otherwise acted as himself, including as the lead in his music videos and all his other credited roles. When Georgette is singing her song, there's a picture of Professor Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective among the framed pictures behind her. Marlon Brando was offered the role of Sykes by the head of the Walt Disney Company, Michael Eisner himself. Brando, however, turned it down, fearing the movie would bomb. Billy Joel auditioned for his role of Dodger by telephone. Despite his name being in the title of the movie, Oliver has no name until about 33 minutes into the movie. Steve Martin and Burt Reynolds were both considered for the role of Dodger, but Reynolds ended up voicing Charlie in All Dogs Go to Heaven, which also stars Dom DeLuise. Whitney Houston was considered for the role of Rita. Cheech Marin was reportedly encouraged to ad-lib his lines for his role as Tito, the energetic Chihuahua. He claimed that only about 75% of his speaking lines were part of the film's script. Bette Midler, who voices Georgette, lives at 1125 Fifth Avenue New York. This is the address listed on Oliver's tag. And that wraps up our review of Oliver and Company here on Movies on the Brain. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the colorful world of Oliver and his friends. This film truly stands the test of time with its vibrant animation, memorable music, and heartwarming story. If you love this review, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews and discussions. Leave a comment below and let me know your favorite moments from Oliver and Company or any other movies you'd like me to review next. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep those movies on your brain.